So the first time I heard about Rajiv Malhotra ji was in 2015, and before that I had not heard of him. So there was a talk organized by IHER, so I had gone for that, and I was really astounded. I was taken by storm to find a speaker like him who is able to explain so many subtle things about Hinduism. And it was also a very interesting event where there was a a person who taught Christian studies in, I think, Rice University or some other University of Houston, I think. And he spoke first and then Rajiv Malhotra ji. So it was amazing to know about Christianity, how it is different from Hinduism and all those things that it spoke about, which I didn't know these things. And after that, I bought his book, Being Different. So that is when the whole journey of knowing Rajivji's works started. Yeah, it had a profound influence on me. Uh, and of course, I didn't know him personally, so just heard him, got his autograph on the book. And then from there, kept reading, and I used to wait eagerly for his books every time because it could be opening of so many windows in the mind. Uh, Now, I had already been exposed to the works of Dr. David Frawley and Dr. N.S. Rajaram. So I knew about the erasure of our history, the false narratives, and there are others who had actually laid the foundation of the work that Rajiv ji built upon. Right, there was Ram Swaroop, Sitaram Goel, that's Savarkar himself. Savarkar. Then there is Professor Bal Gangadhar, who spoke about we see the West as the West sees itself, we see the East as the West sees the East. We don't know how to see with our own eyes. So those concepts were there, but Rajiv ji just came along and built upon them and then explained them so lucidly, so clearly, and so emphatically that we were. So it came across as very strong when Rajiv ji explained it to us, and also for the newer generation. So many things that I keep telling my daughter. When I say it, it doesn't carry much credence. But when she hears Rajiv ji saying that in a video or in a talk, then it makes sense and they believe it. So he has that credibility about him. The way he does his referencing, he brings it all, and then so that's why he's an inspiration for all of us. We have all learned from him. And in fact, in my book also, I have cited him a couple of times where the my book on India's educational heritage, where the chapter on the knowledge that India gave to the world. So there are a lot of things that we know already. I did my research and I came to know about how the Greeks, we gave knowledge to the Arabs, and what is attributed to the Greeks. Well, we have worked on those concepts before them. All those things I knew, but Rajiv ji also gave a lot of extra things. Like he's written about structuralism. He's written about the father of structuralism, who is known to be Saussure, Dr. Ferdinand Saussure, I think. And he has talked about how his students, and Saussure was studying Sanskrit in Europe, and how his students who were taking notes from him, eliminated the references to Hinduism, to all the Sanskrit texts, and so then all those notes then later became the basis of postmodern thought. All the a lot of it has revolutionized. The structuralism is what has given rise to so many concepts in psychology, anthropology, philosophy, and so many things have come from that. But the connection with Sanskrit and Panini and Indian philosophy, that was obliterated because of the students who took away all those references. So these things I came to know from Rajiv Malhotraji's works. I mean, many other things. If I start listing out, there are a lot of things that Rajivji has taught us. So I think all his books are important, but for me, the most important were Being Different, The Battle for Sanskrit, the book on Sanskrit non-translatables, uh, and what were the other? Recently, also the Snakes in the Ganga. All these books are extremely important. I feel everybody should read his books from cover to cover because there is so much in it. Um, and then his videos also. They are very, very important to watch because I used to love the Q&A that he did in various universities. So he would give a talk, and then after that, so many questions that even I had many of those questions myself. And the way he answers them, he's just inimitable in the way he answers questions, right? That's why he's needed in almost every conference. because he brings that understanding, he brings his knowledge of the philosophy, and his deep knowledge of anthropology, sociology. He's also studied all those things. And the way he has dissected religion itself to make us understand how we are different. And the concepts that he's given, like how sameness is not, like, we are all made to believe that sameness is a good thing, that we are all same. But he has so that's actually a fallacy. So we are boxing ourselves without any reason. We don't have to box ourselves in any way. So he kind of freed us from that, that sameness that is given to us in the name of secularism, in the name of bringing unity, a kind of false unity. So what he was writing about is, we can actually be diverse and still be united. And so diverse means we understand each other's religions. We're able to talk about it. We're able to critique it. And he was one of those persons who said, I'm free to, I feel free to critique my religion, and I would also like to critique your religion. But that's something that was not acceptable in most universities, in the Department of Religion. That was not acceptable. So he was actually embodying all the things that our gurus have been talking about. Because we come from a culture of debating, discussing threadbare an issue and without any hard feelings. So he was exemplifying all that. So my favorite concepts that he gave are reversing the gaze. Again, Dr. Bal Gangadhar had spoken about it, but to give a term to it, like reversing the gaze, that was very important. Then all those concepts like U-turn theory, digestion, cultural appropriation. This is so important because we are so used to seeing our concepts being appropriated that we don't even talk about them, right? So much has gone from our ideas. But he's the one who started talking about them. Like, look at this. This has come from our way of thinking, our way of living. And now it is being secularized and being made to seem as if it has nothing to do with Hinduism, right? A lot of our concepts. In fact, the whole idea of liberalism, of including all ideas, all this you can see that it has come from ancient India. But we don't like to attribute it to that. We want to talk about European secularism. So these were some of the things. The U-turn theory. He is very good at coming up with new terms which are very catchy, very correct, very relevant, and you can start delving more into it. You'll find out, even if you disagree with that concept, but it leads to a very animated conversation. So that's the thing that Rajiv ji brought to the debate. He also gives terrific examples. Like, he gave the example of a tiger, the predator eating the prey, and then whatever. So the prey's knowledge is now the part of the predator's DNA. Okay, so he says that's not good. It's not good to be digested like that. So those things, like, he gives very apt analogies. So I think I'm very, very deep, very grateful to Rajiv ji for sharing all these nuggets with us and writing all these books. These books needed to be written, and nobody had written those books. So I'm extremely grateful that he has spent such a big part of his life writing these books and inspiring so many of us authors like me also to delve more, dig more, ask hard questions, analyze intelligently. So it's amazing that he has inspired also a whole breed of authors to think more deeply. So I just want to say a big thank you to Rajiv ji. The other thing is, I realize I'm still using those expressions. The other day when I was talking about religion with my daughter, and she was asking me, why do we need religion? Even without religion, we are good enough. One can be a good person without religion. So I was often referring to his books. Like, he uses those terms like history-centric religion versus open architecture religion, right? So those things really strike a note. So when you say, okay, our religion is not history-centric, it doesn't matter if there is no prophet. Nobody comes along, gives you a book. You're not people of the book. But we can still rediscover these truths again and again because they are universal. So those things he has it's like Rajiv ji drew out the knowledge that was already within us. I could feel that. Like, I knew these things, but I've never articulated them. And then when Rajiv ji said it, then, oh, okay, this is what I wanted to say, right? That is the specialty of Rajiv ji.